Hey guys, so today I want to take a look here at my iPhone 4 with the iOS 7, the final public release here. So we'll be checking out a little bit more in depth compared to my other phone videos about this one. So the latest update here, which should be actually the same as the GM, but if you're new to iOS 7, it might be a little bit new. The first thing you want to know here is that there are a bunch of things here, of course, with the iPhone 4 that you don't get as you would get on the iPhone 4S and the iPhone 5. Now, let me go over them. So the first thing, of course, is you don't get Siri. Okay? You don't get Siri on this phone. You get kind of like voice control, but that's not Siri. So that kind of sucks. You also, what you get here is, if we have a look here at the transparency, it's not as transparent and cool as it would be on, let's say, an iPhone 4S. As you can see here, this one's a little bit more transparent. And also, if you take a look at it from the top, you can see that it's not even close to as transparent and cool and awesome and great as the iPhone 4 here. So, yeah, that's also one thing that sucks. Remember though, this is a single core smartphone. It's a single core smartphone, so it can't run everything. You can see here that it's still fairly smooth here in menus. And when we are loading up the page like this, it's smooth, which is nice. Also, one thing here, if we go into wallpaper and brightness, is that we don't get dynamic wallpapers as we would get on the, let's say, the 4S. So if I go into the 4S here and I go down to wallpapers, I don't get moving wallpapers, these cool wallpapers. You don't get that or anything of that inside of the iPhone 4 here with the final public release. So that's also one of the things that kind of sucks because they are very, very nice. Some things that you do get though is, of course, these new sounds in ringtones and alert tones. So so these are new iOS 7 ringtones and sounds. And then the classical are in here also in a folder. So that's pretty awesome. And then we do have the new alert tones. And then the classical tones here as well. Of course, most of the apps here have been updated, so for iOS 7. So here's also how you do search. You go down like this. You can see here the keyboard change. You don't get as much transparency and awesomeness as you would get here on the iPhone 4 or 4S, which also kind of sucks. Yep, that kind of sucks, but that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Yeah. That's the way it is. So if you start off also here with this area here, what kind of things are these? Well, cool, in the control center here, you have brightness up and down. We do have some quick toggles here for airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, moon. What's this? Do not disturb, I think. Yeah. So if you don't want to get disturbed, then you can turn that on and it will like block incoming calls, and you can also schedule that in the settings. You have the screen orientation lock, which is pretty nice. You have a player here, so if you play music awesome. You can customize that over there. You have some quick shortcuts here for the clock, or is this, let's say, the timer. Yeah, this is the timer. And it will also bring up, of course, the clock app, which is a little bit universal because it has features like set time, a normal stopwatch here with different laps. You have normal alarm here, which of course you can just add, which is awesome. You have the world clock as well. So access to all of that just by going in the menus. And then, of course, brightness here, flashlights. You have a calculator also, which is nice. So all of these things that people use a lot, that is meant to be, let's say, in the control center. Quick access here to the camera as well. This app has been updated, of course. You don't get these cool filters that you would get in, let's say, an iPhone 4. Down here at the bottom, you don't get that on the iPhone 4, which could suck. One thing here, you don't get this panorama mode as well. You don't get that in the iPhone 4. But you do get the square mode, which should be taking pictures for, let's say, Instagram, I think. You have an HDR mode as well, if you want to take some brighter pictures or better looking photos that may be a little bit bigger in size. Of course, the normal standard video mode, which isn't super advanced. Very, very simplistic UI here, and I like this kind of swiping thing. Another thing here, of course, in the Safari browser is that it has been updated to a new look and fresh feel with just one bar there at the top, which is very, very clean, instead of having two different areas where you can type stuff. So that's very, very nice. You have a cool tab system here as well. In the private mode, if you want to go private, maybe search for porn, I have no idea. You have a quick access here to, of course, your bookmarks. And another feature here is reading list. So if you want to read stuff later, you have quick access to that if you save stuff in that little thing. Of course, you do have this reading mode inside of the iPhone. So far, because your iPhone is not connected with. Okay, internet randomly seems to disappear sometimes for me, which is a little bit random. It could be something with iOS, because I've been seeing it on multiple devices. So Apple might fix that in a future update. Because you did see here that it did drop the signal, which is a little bit awkward. It should not just randomly drop it like it's hot. No, I'm sure. Yeah, that was a little bit random. But that's the Safari browser. Okay, for some reason it doesn't want to work. Okay, that's random. That is freaking random. Weird. Okay, for some reason it doesn't want to work. I might want to restart my router or something and see if it works later. We can have a look here at the camera app. No, the keypad, which looks like this. This is, yes, you can call with this. It actually is a phone. Which is pretty awesome. And this is how the call page looks like, which is great. Let's see here. Now, just because my internet, okay, now my internet works, but now it did disappear again. Random. Of course, here in the control center, this is the page where you can swipe, and it's smooth here, which is good on the iPhone 4, but it wasn't that in earlier iOS 7 betas. You have the calendar, of course, you can tweak this area, your stocks, and then here a missed page where you will have all of that missed stuff, which is quite nice to have a quick little access to, like missed calls and things. So just a quick little look here at the iPhone 4 and its iOS 7 update, and it looks like it's just as the GM version of iOS 7, which is definitely good. If you want me to take a look at some specific apps and compare it with something else, let me know about that as well. Have a good day.